do continue to be under the obligations of the oath that you took when you first entered the stand to provide your testimony here in court, okay? All right, have a seat. All right, with that, Madam Clerk, if we could please bring in our jury. Thank you. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You may be seated. All right, counsel, please stipulate to the return of our jurors.
So stipulate, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Attorney Gavin, if you'd like to come up and continue the direct of Mr. Jose Morales, we can move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Morales.
Good morning.
Mr. Morales, I just want to orient you where we left off yesterday afternoon in your direct testimony. You indicated at that point where we stopped that you had placed garbage bags on the front deck of 6.5 Myrtle, okay?
Yes.
All right. Now, Your Honor, Peter, Your Honor, we would like to play Exhibit F, which is identification purposes. At this point, there are 3 videos.
So is F a full exhibit?
No, F is going to be a full exhibit.
Okay, so if it's just ID, I can't play it and publish it yet, so we have to make a determination on F.
I don't know if the state has any objection to that.
This is the video when it comes. No objection.
No objection? All right, so the court will enter into evidence as a full exhibit. Defense is F.
G is in George and H is in Henry.
Are you okay with G
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
H as well? All right, very good. So then the court will accept into evidence as full defendants G, F, G, and H. Thank you.
Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
Now you can go ahead and publish. Was it F that you wanted to publish?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Morales, is your video screen working there, sir?
Yes, it is.
And please remember, just come close to the mic and speak louder than you normally would, okay?
Okay.
Great. Now, Mr. Morales, where we had left off in the area at the end of the testimony yesterday, you indicated that in the apartment at 6.5 Myrtle, you had gone to the front door where the screen door was and the wood door. You recall that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and I want you to just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when you went to the front door, what did you observe?
I saw the guy that left the house going towards the corner of Myrtle Ave and West Street. I saw a car coming from Myrtle Ave and turning towards West Street. Slow down. I saw the headlights on. The guy that left the apartment got in the car, and I saw the car driving down West Street.
Okay. If we could play the video, please. We're going to start with F as in Frank, Your Honor.
Okay.
Morales, was that the vehicle that you observed from the deck of 6.5 Myrtle leaving the area of the property?
Yes.
Can we go to the next one? Your Honor, for the next exhibit would be G as in George.
Okay, thank you. Publishing G.
can play the whole video. Is that the start of Mr. Morales? The videos are in 1 minute segments, so they're not continuous. So I'm going to show you. We would start here. Go ahead, Peter. If you would start here. Stop. Okay. Is that the vehicle that you saw leaving?
Yes.
Okay. And just, do we have the map there? And I want to thank the state for their assistance in playing it. Thank you. Mr. Morales, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit U. This is a full exhibit, okay? And I'm
Okay.
just going to orient you to 6.5 Myrtle.
Yes.
See that, sir?
I see it.
Okay, and I want you to tell us where the vehicle was traveling in what direction.
He was coming down from Myrtle Ave and he took a left into West Street.
Oh, let's go slow. This is Myrtle Avenue where my pen is. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. When it reached the intersection of West Street, 6.5 was here. You were on the porch. Which way did it go, sir?
He took a left onto West Street.
Onto West Street, which you joined the property at 6.5 Myrtle and went down West Street. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, great. And then just the last, thank you. One last one. Mr. Bestry, if you would go to the 5630 area there. Okay, just hold on. Oh, stop now. Sorry. When you were up on 6.5 Myrtle and the vehicle turned on West Street, can you just tell ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what's the next street that West intersects with?
Cottage Avenue.
Okay. And this video is from Cottage Avenue. I'm sorry, Peter, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to object at this point. Were you able to see the vehicle? Were you able?
Well, hold on a minute, Attorney Stein. If you're going to object, let me rule on the objection without questioning the witness, please.
He cannot say this is the vehicle. It calls for speculation. If he's over at 6.5 Myrtle Street to say that this is the same vehicle,
Okay.
Several streets over.
So, hold on, Attorney Stein. We were talking about Cottage Street. I'm not even sure that we got a question out yet. Please let me hear the question before we note an objection. Attorney Gavin, can you please re-ask the question?
Sure. Okay. You indicated that West intersects with Cottage Street,
Yes.
correct? And Your Honor, he's going to identify the vehicle, so that's that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter. You can go ahead and play it. Can you identify what vehicle is depicted there in Exhibit H, please?
Yes, that's the vehicle that I saw that the guy went in on the corner of Myrtle and West.
Right. So you're identifying that's the vehicle that you saw on Myrtle Avenue on West, and you weren't down on Cottage Street, correct?
Correct.
But you can identify that that is the vehicle.
That is the vehicle.
Should I proceed, Your Honor?
Sure.
Oh, okay, thanks. Thank you.
The objection is overruled, by the way. That's subject for cross-examination. Attorney Gavin, you may proceed.
Thank you. We're also, you can just play that for another. Okay, terrific. Thank you. Okay, so now you've identified the vehicle. Now, I want to go back to what you did, okay, sir? All right. At 6.5 Myrtle, after the vehicle had left, I want you to tell the ladies and gentlemen, the jury, in your own words, what did you do?
I went back inside the apartment.
Okay, and what happened next?
I closed the door, and I looked at what was in front of me.
Okay, and what steps did you take? Did you leave the apartment? Did you stay there?
Well, I stayed in the apartment for a little. Yeah, I stayed in the apartment.
Okay, what'd you do?
I looked around. I looked for Vanessa. I couldn't find her. So I was gonna call police, but the words that the guy said to me kept ringing in my head.
Mr.
So
Morales, just what did you do? What did you physically do while you were in the apartment?
I sat down in the bed
Okay, how long were you in the apartment?
till early in the morning.
Okay,
So that was around 1:58, 1:59 in the morning
okay,
when this happened,
okay.
when the car left the apartment. So after that, I went inside the apartment. I looked around for a little while. I looked for Vanessa. I couldn't find her.
This is repetitive.
I went.
Attorney Stein, if you have an objection, just stand up and say that you have an objection.
It is an objection, Your Honor. It is repetitive.
Okay, so it's repetitive. I'm going to ask the witness to move on from the point in time that he left.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did there
All
come
right.
a point when you left the apartment?
Yes,
Okay, when was that?
that was in the morning, around 6 o'clock in the morning.
All right, and what did you do, if anything, before you left the apartment, sir?
That's when I had put all the stuff that I was around Christine in bags, in garbage bags, and placed them in the front deck.
Okay. When you said you had picked up stuff and put them in garbage bags, is
Yes.
that correct? Okay, you have to testify in regard to what you did. I think you said you put them outside.
I put them outside in the front deck,
Okay,
yes.
and what did you do next?
Well, around 6 in the morning, I wanted to smoke a cigarette, but I didn't have no cigarettes, so I was heading towards the gas station.
Okay, did you leave the apartment?
I did.
Okay, and did you utilize a contractor bag at all?
Objection, Your Honor. He's leading.
Oh, this is where we left off. Okay, what did you do at the time you were leaving the apartment?
So I was walking towards the car, and I saw to the side, and I saw the bags, and I said to myself, I can't leave these bags out here. So I went back inside the apartment. I grabbed one of the contractor bags, the big trash bags, the black ones. I went outside back to the front deck, and I placed all the small garbage bags that I had in the front deck inside a big contractor bag. I tied it up real good, and I put it in the trunk of my car, and I headed towards the gas station.
Okay, and what did you do next as you headed towards the gas station?
Well, as I was going to the gas station, I started thinking, what should I do with the stuff that is in the bags, right? So the first thought that came into my mind was the recycle bin that I put stuff in it before. So I headed that way.
Where was that located?
On Derby Ave.
Okay, and was there any buildings near there where the donation bins were?
Yeah, I believe there's a little bar restaurant across the street, and I think it's a church in next to it.
Okay, and did you actually arrive at the donation bins?
I did.
Okay, Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what'd you do with the donation bins.
So I went into the parking lot. I backed the car into one of the donation bins. I opened the trunk from the inside of the car. I got out of the car. I went into the trunk. I grabbed the big contractor bag and I tried to stuff it inside the donation bin opening. And I tried. It wouldn't go in because it was too big. So I threw the contractor bag back in the trunk of the car. I opened it and I started taking the bags from the big trash bag and throwing them inside a bin, one at a time. I did that until all the bags were inside a bin already, and I closed the trunk. I got back in the car, and I headed towards the gas station.
Okay. And where was the gas station located?
The gas station is on Derby Ave,
Okay. All right.
or Main Street.
Okay. What time did you get to the gas station approximately?
It's around 6:07 in the morning.
Okay. And what happened when you went to the gas station?
When I got to the gas station, I parked by the entrance of the gas station and proceeded to go inside of the gas station.
Okay. Just tell us what'd you do at the gas station.
When I went in the gas station, my intention was to buy cigarettes. So I got my debit card and I tried to work my debit card, but because my mind was so messed up from the PCP, I couldn't figure out the numbers. And I tried a couple of times, I couldn't figure it out. So I put the debit card back in my pocket and I looked for money. I had like $6 in my pocket. So I asked the clerk if they had any kind of cigarettes that I can buy for $6. I was instructed that,
Objection as to what he was.
well,
Just stop right there. Okay. You can't
Okay.
testify
Okay.
what the court. But there's no question that you were at the Shell gas station. Is that
yes,
correct?
that's
All right?
correct.
And did there come a point where you left the Shell gas station?
Well, once I found out that I couldn't purchase cigarettes with that little bit of money, I remember about down the street there's another gas station. So I left the Shell gas station and went down the street to the next gas station.
Okay. And did you return to the Shell gas station?
Yes, I tried the same procedure in the other gas station with the debit card. I couldn't figure out the number, so then I went back to the Shell gas station, parked in the same place by the entrance of the Shell gas station, and went back inside. This time I purchased one Black and Mild cigar.
What's a Black and Mild cigar?
It's something you smoke. It's just a cigar, Black and Mild.
That's the brand, Black and Mild?
Yeah, that's the name of it. Yes.
Okay. And so you went back to the gas station the second time, and that's when you bought the Black and Mild. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And where did you go after the gas station, the Shell gas station? Where did you go?
So that was the second time in the gas station. After that, I just went back to the apartment on Myrtle Ave, 6.5 Myrtle Ave.
Okay. Joseph, can we play 160? Excuse me, Lauren. Can we play 169?
Are we referring to States Exhibit
States
169?
Exhibit
Thank you.
169, which is a full exhibit, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Morales, your monitor is working, you told us, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This is a little bit of a lengthy video, and we're going to go through segments of it. We're going to start and stop, okay? So
Okay.
just, if you could watch the monitor. Now, this situation with going to the donation bins and the gas station, that's Sunday, December 1st, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Start with easy. Is that your vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And you had a distinct muffler noise on your vehicle? Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this This is you leaving 6.5 Myrtle and heading in the general direction of the gas station. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you had an opportunity to see this video previously.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So there's no doubt that that's your car.
No doubt.
You see that, Mr. Morales?
Yes.
On the way to the gas station for St. Michael's Church for the donation bids, you have to pass the old Antonia Police Station at 2 Elm Street.
Yes.
Mr. Morales, whose car is that depicted in the video?
That's my car.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Morales, this is Derby Avenue heading towards St. Michael's Church. Can you identify the vehicle that's depicted in this video?
That's me heading towards the bin.
Thank you. Mr. Morales, you can see from the timestamp of 6:14, so it was about 5 minutes after you had gone down Derby Avenue. Is that your vehicle returning from the area of the bins?
That's me leaving the area of the bin towards the gas station now.
Thank you. Mr. Morales, is that the gas station that you were referring to?
Yes, it is.
And that's on the corner of Division Street and Main Street.
That's correct.
Okay. And you see there's a car pulling in the top left-hand corner?
That's the 10 Nissan. That's my car.
Is that you getting out of the car?
That's me.
You. Ms. Morales, who's the individual that just came up to the counter?
That's me.
Morales, does that depict you attempting to use your debit card as you indicated?
Yes.
Okay. And were you able to go ahead and complete the purchase?
No.
And then did you leave the gas station?
I did.
And Mr. Morales, after going to the counter and getting back into your car, you left the gas station, is that correct?
That's
Is that
correct.
your vehicle located in the left-hand side of the video?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Morales, this is Maria's Hair Design just across Division Street. Is that your vehicle seen leaving the gas station across the street?
Yes.
In the background, you see the vehicle heading on Main Street?
Yes.
Okay. And was that your vehicle?
That is.
And where were you going at that point?
Back to the apartment, 6.5 Myrtle Ave.
Is that your vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And you said at this point you were returning back to 6.5 Myrtle?
That's correct.
Okay. Mr. Morales, you can see it's a little bit lighter out now.
Yes.
Okay. Is that your vehicle turning?
Yes.
Okay. And what direction are you heading back towards?
Judson Place towards Myrtle Ave.
Okay. And that's that distinct muffler sound of your vehicle, correct?
It is, yes.
Mr. Morales, while we have the video on here, I'm going to take you past the early morning hours of Sunday, December 1st. I just want to go ahead and make sure there's no issue. This indicates that the car leaves Myrtle Avenue, travels down West Street. This is approximately the evening. Can you go ahead? Can you identify the vehicle in that clip of the video?
Yes, that's my car. Yes, that's my car.
Identify that vehicle?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Morales, can you identify the vehicle in that frame, sir?
Yes, that's my car.
Thank you. Now we're going, just to orient you, now it's the afternoon of Sunday, December 1st, sir, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Joe. Can you identify that vehicle?
That's my car.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Morales, in this frame of the video, can you identify the car that's making the right-hand turn?
That's my car.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Morales, now we're going to the following day, which is Monday, December 2nd, okay? Just to
Okay.
orient you. Thank you. Now, Mr. Morales, do you recognize the vehicle that is depicted in this frame?
I do.
Yep. Now, you had testified that Christine had purchased the Ford Focus, correct?
Yes.
The day, on Saturday, on
Friday.
Friday at Barberino, excuse me. What color was that car?
Black.
Okay. Do you recognize the car that's depicted in that frame of the video?
I believe that's the Ford Focus.
Okay, and who is driving the Ford Focus?
I am.
Thank you. Sir, the vehicle that is depicted in this frame making the right-hand turn up towards Myrtle Avenue, can you identify that vehicle for us?
I believe that's the Ford Focus.
Okay, and who would have been driving the Ford Focus?
Me.
Thank you. Charles, thank you. Okay, Mr. Morales, it's lighter out, obviously. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, and you see the vehicle making the turn there?
I see it.
Yep. And whose vehicle is that?
I don't recognize that vehicle. That's not the one.
You're not sure what vehicle that is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We can continue. Thank you. Okay. Do you recognize the vehicle that went through now?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Chelsea.
That's it.
Now,
Yeah.
making the left-hand turn, the black vehicle, do you recognize that vehicle?
I do.
And what vehicle is that?
That's the Ford Focus.
And who is the operator of the Ford Focus?
I was.
Thank you, sir. Yep. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Sir, you see in the lower right-hand quadrant of this still of the video, do you see a vehicle making a right-hand turn?
I do.
Can you identify that vehicle?
Black Ford Focus.
And who is the operator of that vehicle?
I am.
Thank you. Sir, you saw the black vehicle traverse up the hill, correct?
Yes.
And then you see it's making a left-hand turn?
Yes.
What's at the corner of that intersection where the vehicle is making the left-hand turn?
That's Myrtle Ave.
Okay. And where's the residence of 6.5 Myrtle Avenue?
It's right on that corner.
Right on that corner. Thank you.
You can.
Okay. Thank you, Joseph. Your Honor, the balance of this is a full exhibit. The balance of the video is the police officers responding. So,
Okay.
okay. Thank you, Chelsea. We can. Now, I just want to orient your time, okay?
Okay.
After you had gone to the Shell gas station and the donation pins, you told us you went back to 6.5 Myrtle.
I did.
Okay, tell the ladies and gentlemen in the jury what you did at 6.5 Myrtle after that.
I went inside the apartment and I locked myself in the bathroom.
Why?
I just couldn't bear to see what was in the hallway.
Okay, what was in the hallway?
Christine.
Okay. And what did you do next?
I smoked the Black and Mild that I had purchased from the gas station in the bathroom.
Okay. And did you use PCP at that time?
No.
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Sustained.
Okay. You were in the bathroom, okay, and what happened next?
I smoked the. I was scared to leave the bathroom.
Objection's not responsive.
Well, I'll overrule it. You can.
Tell us in your own. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Sorry, you can go ahead.
You can answer.
So I stood in the bathroom. I smoked the Black and Mild. The Black and Mild had a really bad odor to it, so I lit one of the candles that was in the bathroom and I cracked the skylight window to get the smoke out of there. And I was just there for like 2 hours.
Okay. And what happened next, sir?
For like the first hour, I smoked the Black and Mild. For the second hour, I was just in there. And around 8 in the morning, I wanted to go and get another Black and Mild.
Okay. And what steps did you take?
That's when I left the apartment again and went back to the gas station.
Okay. The Shell gas station.
Yes, the Shell
Okay.
gas station.
What happened there?
I purchased another Black and Mild.
Okay. And what'd you do after the gas station?
I drove right back to the apartment.
Okay. And what'd you do when you got to the apartment?
I went back into the bathroom.
Okay. And what happened?
While I was in the bathroom, I was smoking the Black and Mild. I was feeling extremely sad, and the way that Christine was looking in the hallway. So I didn't want nobody to see her like that. So I left the bathroom. I gathered myself up. I left the bathroom, went into the hallway, and I grabbed Christine. And before I left the bathroom, the idea was to bring Christine and put her in the tub. I grabbed the curtain. I flipped it over, the pole. I went into the hallway. I gently grabbed Christine and I placed it in the tub.
Okay. And do you know approximately what time that was?
In between 9 and 1, before 1 o'clock
Okay.
on Sunday morning.
After you placed
Ontario, what morning?
Sunday.
Sunday morning you're talking about now?
Sunday, yeah,
Yeah, Sunday.
that would have been December 1st. Okay, so you placed Christine in the tub. Okay?
Yes.
Just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what did you do next in the apartment?
Once I did that, I closed the bathroom door, and now I'm inside the apartment, and I see the blood all over the hallway floor and by the door entrance. And I went and I grabbed the bucket from under the sink with towels, and I filled it up halfway, almost more than halfway with water, and I started cleaning because when I was walking around, I have left footprints from the blood in the carpet. So I started just cleaning the blood that was on the tiles, and I cleaned it up with the bucket, and I was dumping the water from the bucket into the garbage disposal. So as I was cleaning the floor, it was garbage. It was whatever was on all over the area, whatever I was scooping up from the floor, I was dumping it into the garbage disposal.
Where was the garbage disposal located, sir?
In the kitchen area next to the sink.
Next to the sink, okay. So you admittedly cleaned up that area.
I did. I cleaned the area that had the big, where it was a lot of blood, because it was blood in many different spots, and there was droplets of blood around. So I did the floor area
Okay?
and the carpet.
Now, sir, we're on Sunday, December 1st, okay?
Yes.
What did you do for the balance of the afternoon and evening?
Well, around 1 o'clock, that's when I wanted to smoke again, but I didn't have enough money to get another Black and Mild, and I was trying to figure out the numbers to see if I can figure out the numbers of my car by then, but I still couldn't do it. So I remember that on the corner on Beaver and Mott Street, there is a small convenience store. So I went to the convenience store to see if I can buy a Lucy or something, a loose cigarettes, to see if they had Lucy's or something like that. So I went, they didn't, and I drove right back to the apartment and I went back inside.
Do you know who Mr. George O'Mara is?
Yes,
Just tell ladies and gentlemen, jury, who Mr. O'Mara is.
he's the next door neighbor.
Okay. On Myrtle Avenue?
Yes.
When you returned from the convenience store, did you see Mr. O'Mara?
Well, yes, when I was getting out the car, I saw him in front of his house. We gave each other some like high gestures, and I just kept going inside the apartment.
Okay. After you returned to the apartment, after you waved to Mr. O'Mara, what did you do?
I was just in the apartment for the rest of the day.
Okay. You didn't leave the apartment after that?
I didn't leave the apartment at all.
Okay. So that's Sunday. I'm going to take you now into Monday, okay?
Okay,
All right? Were you in the apartment Sunday night into Monday morning?
I was.
Okay. And now I'm going to go into Monday, okay?
Okay.
Okay, just to orient you. So Monday, which would have been December 2nd, I want you to tell ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what did you do in the morning of Monday, December 2nd?
Well, early in the morning, the high was winding down, and I started getting the urge, and I remember that I still had one bag left of the PCP that was given to me by Hector. So I rolled it, but I didn't want to smoke it in the apartment. So I was going to go for a ride to smoke the PCP.
Okay? And where did you do that?
Well, I left the apartment. I got in my car. When I got in my car, I noticed that I only had a little bit of gas left. I went back inside the apartment. I got the keys to the 4, and I took the 4 for a ride. And that's the car that I went to smoke the PCP.
To smoke the PCP?
Yes.
And where did you do that, if you recall?
So I drove around aimlessly for a while. I was freaking out. I was paranoid at the same time. I'm thinking somebody was following my sign. So I drove towards the orange area. I probably made it all the way to like New Haven, drove around to the areas that I'm familiar with. I parked somewhere. I smoked. I parked. Once the stuck portion of the high subsided, I drove again aimlessly back to Myrtle Ave, and I parked across the street from 6.5 Myrtle Avenue.
Okay. And what vehicle were you in at that time?
In the 4.
In the Ford
Focus,
Focus?
yes.
Okay. And did you do anything in regard to Christine, who was in the bathroom?
Not.
Your Honor, leading.
I'll allow it.
At this time, I didn't get out of the car yet. I stood in the car and waited in there. Well, kind of like passed out in the car for a little while. And then I went.
Not responsive to the question now. Did you do anything with Christine?
All right. Thank you. So just please object, state your purpose of your objection again, Attorney Stein, and I'll deal with the objection. The answer is becoming unresponsive. Attorney Gavin, I will stop the answer as unresponsive. Attorney Stein, would you like me to strike any portion of the answer?
That's fine, Your Honor. I just like for you to ask the question.
Thank you. Attorney Gavin?
Thank you. You have to just answer my question,
Okay.
okay? I know you're nervous. Did you do anything in regard to Christine Holloway on Monday, December 2nd?
I did.
Just tell us what you did.
Well, once,
Just tell us exactly what you did.
well, I wanted to dress her. So when I first put her in the tub, there was items of clothing that was still under her when I carried her to the tub. So I wanted to dress her, so I pushed her forward a little bit, and I took them items of dressing from the back of her. I took them out and put them on the floor of the bathroom. And then she had a pajama pant on and a tank top. There was no underclothes. So I took because they were all bloody. And I felt sad and I wanted to put different clothes on her. I took the pajama pants off. I had a little problem taking the tank top, so she was like this, and I was able to take it out. And then I took that clothes and I put it in the washing machine.
Okay. And did you engage the washing machine at that
I
point?
did.
And then just tell us, in regard to the clothes, did you do anything else with the clothes?
Well, once the clothes was washed, I just folded it and I put it in the drawer,
In what drawer?
in the dresser.
In Christine's dresser?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Now, okay, so now we're on Monday, all right, December 2nd, okay? And you were in Myrtle Avenue, okay? And I'm going to call your attention to the time frame about 1 p.m. Were you still in the apartment?
Yes.
Okay, and did anything happen around 1 p.m.?
Yes.
Just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what happened.
So I was sitting in the bed trying to gain I wanted to dress Christine, but I didn't have the strength to do it, the courage to go back inside the bathroom. So I sat on the bed, and I heard somebody knocking on the door.
Did you answer the door?
No, I freaked out.
What'd you do?
I just waited. I didn't even look to see who he was. So I waited a few minutes. The knocking stopped. So I freaked out and I said to myself, "It's time to leave." So I grabbed I went outside. I turned the car on.
Which car, sir?
I went outside and I turned the Nissan on.
Okay.
I went back inside the apartment. I grabbed my backpack, and then I got back in the car, and then I left.
And where did you go?
Then I drove directly to my parents' house in New Haven,
In what was the address in New Haven?
105 First Avenue.
Okay. Now, and you returned to your parents' house, and did you stay at your parents' house?
I did.
Okay. Do you know somebody named Jody Jacobellis?
Yes.
Just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury who Jody Jacobellis is.
She was Christine's brother's girlfriend at the time.
Okay. And what's Christine's brother's name?
Stephen.
Okay. Did you have any interaction while you were in New Haven with Jody Jacobellis or Stephen Holloway?
I did.
Just tell ladies and gentlemen of the jury what happened.
So when I got to my parents' house, I went directly into the room downstairs, and I didn't come out. I was there pretty much all day. I helped my mom carry some baskets upstairs or whatever, and then in the afternoon, I went upstairs to my pops was making soup. So he called me. He said if I wanted a bowl.
Objection, Your Honor, is what someone said.
Sustained.
Yeah, just listen to the question. Did you have any interaction with Jody Jacobellis or Stephen Holloway?
I did.
And tell us what happened in regard to that interaction.
So I was upstairs, and somebody knocked on the door, and my mom or my pops, one of them answered the door, and it was Jody.
Okay. Did you speak with her at that point?
She spoke to my...
No, just yes or no. Did you speak to her at that point?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Now, did there come a point where Jody Jacobellis and Stephen Holloway left?
Yes.
Okay. And then just after that, and I don't want you to say what anyone else say, but were you contacted by the Ansonia Police Department?
Yes,
Did you speak to the officer from the Ansonia Police Department?
I did.
Okay. Now, and you never left 105 First Avenue on Monday the 2nd, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, now I want to go into the following day, okay, which would have been Tuesday, December 3rd, sir.
Okay.
Okay? Tell us what happened on Tuesday, December 3rd.
Well, very early in the morning, the Ansonia police and the New Haven police were in my parents' house.
Okay? And what happened after the police arrived?
They my pops answered the door. He let them in. They asked if I could go, if I wanted to
Objection,
go.
Your Honor, as to what someone
Sustained.
said.
Well, I went to the.
Just stop for a second. Just stop for a second. Just tell us, on the early morning of Tuesday, December 3rd, you said the police came. What did you do next?
I went upstairs and went in a ride with them to the Ansonia Police Department.
You went on a ride to the Ansonia
Yes.
Police Department. You voluntarily went with them.
Yes,
Okay, and you were up at the Ansonia Police Department for approximately how long?
probably 40 minutes to an hour.
Okay, great. And then after you were up at the Ansonia Police Department, you were questioned up there?
I was.
Okay, and then what happened after you were up in the Ansonia Police Department?
They took me back to my parents' house.
Okay, and we saw the video, and that's when they took your clothes and your phones.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then you went back to your parents' house, correct?
Yes,
Right, and we saw the video clip of the return of you with your mom and dad at 105 First Avenue, correct?
that's correct.
Okay. And we're done with that, okay?
Okay.
Am I correct that you were subsequently arrested?
Yes.
Okay. Now, last page, we're almost done, okay?
Okay.
Now, did you, sir, and we'll go through it day by day in a second, but did you have continued interaction with the police department after your arrest?
Yes.
Okay. And now I'm going to call your attention first to Thursday, December 5th. Where were you held in custody?
On Whaley Avenue.
Okay. And did investigators come and talk to you on Thursday, December 5th?
Yes.
Okay. And you voluntarily talked to them at that point?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go further now. Do you recall on Thursday, December 2nd, do you recall that you were still at Whaley Avenue in North Haven?
Yes.
In New Haven?
New
Sorry,
Haven.
what date, Attorney Captain?
That would be Thursday, December 12th.
12, you said the second.
I'm sorry, Thursday, December 12th, correct? And you were still at Whaley Avenue at that point?
I was.
Yeah, and do you know who Detective Stephen Adcox is?
Yes.
Okay. Did you meet with Detective Adcox?
I did.
And that was voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay, and did you talk to him at that time?
I did.
What did you tell Detective Adcox in summary? You don't have to go through every single word, but did you talk to him?
Yes, I did. I told them about how I have been smoking the PCP throughout the weekend.
Okay. Sir, were you able to interact with your mom, Lydia De Jesus, while you were incarcerated?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to call your attention to December 15th. Did you have communication with your mom?
I did.
Okay. And were you using your mom as the conduit to the police?
I was.
All right. Now I'm going to go forward, okay, to Tuesday, December 17th. Did Detective Adcox come back and interview you again?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And what did you tell Detective Adcox regarding Christine Holloway?
Well, I told them that I was getting my memory back, that the PCP was winding down, leaving the system. So now all my recollection of what had happened is coming back more clear. And I started telling him about everything that I said here.
Okay. And I can't testify for you, but what did you tell Detective Adcox about what happened at 6.5 Myrtle?
I told them about the guys that were coming towards their apartment.
Okay. Did you tell him the entire story like you just told us?
Well, I told them the pieces that I remember at the time.
Okay. And did you indicate that you had been using PCP at that time?
I did.
All right. Now, we're going to go to the following week, okay? Were you relocated at that point from Whaley Avenue?
I was.
Okay, and just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, where were you?
I was moved to Cheshire Correctional Facility.
Okay. Sir, I'm going to call your attention to Monday, December 23rd, just 2 days before Christmas. Were you interviewed by Detective Adcox?
I was.
Okay, and did you continue to tell him what happened in regard to Christine Holloway?
Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
okay. And then, sir, I'm going to go past Christmas into 2020, okay? Do you have a recollection of your mom coming to visit you?
Yes,
Okay. And do you know if that was recorded, that interview?
it was.
Okay. And you knew it was recorded, correct?
I didn't know it was recorded while it was happening.
Okay, that's fine. And did you have discussions with your mom in regard to what happened at 6.5?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Was it your understanding your mom would relay that information to Detective Adcox?
Yes,
Okay. And now, just a couple more, sir. We're in 2020 now, okay? Do you recall Detective Adcox on Tuesday, January 21st, 2020, do you recall Detective Adcox coming up to speak with you at Cheshire Correction at that point?
yes,
And sir, all of these interviews that you had with the police, they were voluntary, correct?
yes, they were.
You signed a notice of rights form, you didn't have to talk to them, but you agreed to go ahead and provide information to them,
Yes,
okay? And then when Detective Adcox came to Cheshire on Tuesday, January 21st, 2020, did you continue to discuss with him what happened in regard to Christine Holloway?
I did. I used to, I tell my mom to call him and have him come see me because my memory was coming back.
Okay. And as time was going by, was your memory coming back?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. I have no other questions. Thank you. Mr. Stein may have a question or two.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna need a recess, Your Honor, so I can pull materials together. It's gonna be a little bit longer than usual, though, for me to get all the material.
All right, well, we'll take our 15-minute break, and hopefully that'll be enough time. Time is 11:11. Why don't we move into our 15 morning recess? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are going to recess. It may be a little bit longer than that, but we're going to at least do our 15-minute break, okay? Court stands
presiding. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, so at this time, I would ask Mr. Morales to please retake the stand. Thank you. Is the state ready to proceed?
The stage is ready, Your Honor.
All right, Madam Clerk, if we could bring in our jury.
Good morning, Mr. Morales.
No, wait, we
I'm
need to-
sorry. No,
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
All right, thank you. Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Morales, you may be seated. Thank you. All right, welcome back, members of the jury. Counsel, please stipulate to the return of our jurors.
Stipulate to the presence of the jury, Your Honor.
Yes,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
Thank you so much. All right, Attorney Stein, you may proceed.
Thank you. Good morning. Yes, good morning, Mr. Morales. How are you?
Good morning.
So, we are talking about December of 2019, and we are currently now in April of 2025. You've had 5+ years to sit back and to think about this case, haven't you?
I have.
And in fact, during that time, you had time to sit here and draw this map, which you labeled Defendant's D. Right? You drew this map for your lawyers, right?
I did.
You put all these directions of travel of various vehicles. You put those on this map, didn't you?
I did.
Can you keep your voice up so I can hear you, please, sir?
Yes,
Thank you.
I did.
And so let's just look at this map that you drew. Are you telling the ladies and gentlemen of this jury that you were standing on the front porch of 6.5 Myrtle and you saw this car go down and make a right on Cottage Ave while standing on the front porch of 6.5 Myrtle?
No, I'm not saying that.
You have arrows there, don't you?
Yeah, but those arrows is not what that represents.
What do the arrows represent?
Those arrows represent, when I drew this map, those arrows represent the direction that the police officer took when he responded to the 911 call.
How did you know that?
Because I know it.
How?
Because I learned it
How?
from the report.
What report? There was no report provided to the defense of that officers until just before this trial.
Objection, Your Honor. Now, Mr.
I knew that for years.
I'll sustained as to what was provided to the defense as part of the question.
So these arrows are depicting, then what are these arrows depicting then over on the other side of Cottage Avenue? What are those arrows depicting?
That's when the officer first went, answered the call. He went up Judson, then he took a right on Myrtle. He went all the way down Myrtle, all the way to the end, and then he came back. And on his way back, he took a left on West Street, and then he took a right on Cottage.
So this map, you drew this map to show that the direction of travel of the police officer who responded to the 911 call?
I believe so.
What was the purpose of that?
I just drew it.
Okay. How about defense D? You had time to draw this one out too, right?
Yes.
So that you could narrate your testimony that you gave to the defense, right?
Well, that's the inside of the apartment, yes.
You used this as a script, did you not, to help narrate your testimony for these people over here?
Well, I wanted them to know exactly how everything is placed inside the apartment, yes.
Your Honor, if I ask a yes or no question, could you instruct the witness to answer my question yes or no? That's what it calls for.
I'll do so. Do you want me to strike the balance of the question
Please.
after? All right, so I will strike everything after yes, and I will instruct you, Mr. Morales, if the question does call for a yes or no answer, simply answer yes or no, okay? Thank you. Attorney
So,
Stein.
thank you, Your Honor. So, Mr. Morales, you drew this diagram to help you narrate the story that you told these folks here. Isn't that true?
I drew the,
Calls for a yes or no answer?
yes, yes.
Thank you.
With regard to the story that you told these people,
Objection to the form of the question.
Sustained.
with regard to what you testified to, let's start off with, I want to take you back on your timeline. Withdrawn. Mr. Morales, do you consider yourself a controlling person?
Not really.
Is that a yes or a no?
No,
Do you consider yourself an emotionally abusive person to Christine Holloway?
no.
Would you ever call her names?
Sometimes,
Sometimes?
yeah.
Okay. How often would you call her names?
I don't know. Sometimes when she called me names, we call each other names.
All right. What kind of names did you call her?
My love.
That's an abusive name?
Oh, abusive.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything right now.
Do you ever recall calling her a pig?
I do.
You do recall calling her a pig?
Yes.
That would happen from time to time, wouldn't it?
It depends what she was talking about.
Okay. Do you recall whether you would accuse her of withdrawn? Did you trust Christine Holloway?
I did.
You did.
Yes.
Was there any point in time that you accused Christine Holloway of being unfaithful to you?
Probably.
Probably.
It's
How many
possible.
times?
We worked together for 3 years.
How many times, Mr. Morales, would you accuse her of being unfaithful to you?
I do not know the answer to that question.
Do you recall having such a conversation with her just days prior to Thanksgiving of 2019?
Probably.
You do recall it?
I don't recall it, but it's possible.
Yeah, I'm looking for the. Showing you, Mr. Morales, what's 177 is a full exhibit. So I'm going to zoom in. Do you recall that these are the testimony of the person who authenticated this? Was the iMessages between your iPad and Christine Holloway's iPhone? Do you recall it?
I do.
And in fact, showing you what FinMark states 176 as a full exhibit. Do you recognize what this is?
It's the iPad.
This is the iPad that was collected from your house at 105 First Avenue, correct?
Yes.
This is the iPad that you share with Isaac, your son.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Isaac in 2019 was 11 years old.
That's
Recall
correct.
that?
Yes.
So now with regard to these conversations, let's start at the top. Does this appear to be Christine asking you not to be mad at her, because she's been asking you for help with the car, her car.
Well, not her car. She was using my car since late spring 2019.
She's asking you, please help me with car and don't be mad. Which car is she referring to?
The car that I let her use my car.
So your car is what she's complaining about.
Yes, because she was using it.
Okay. And she then asks you, I wish you could transfer money from the account for rent. She was asking you to help pay the rent.
I did.
She asked you to help to pay the rent at 6.5 Myrtle.
Yeah, we paid the rent together.
Because your daughter lived there.
That's right.
And you lived there on the weekends.
That's right.
So you would logically help with the rent.
Yes.
She then, at some point, still on November 14th of 2019, she seems to be a little mad. I can't believe you couldn't even say hi or goodbye to your daughter. Do you recall that?
I see it. I don't recall it. I see it.
Okay? And then there's a response from Isaac Morales 100 at iCloud.com. Now, you will agree with me that that is you responding, correct?
I believe so, yes.
It's not Isaac responding, is it?
No.
All right. And you say you want to keep giving money away to rich companies like the gym, so pretty soon you'll drain all of your savings. And then you say hi to Vanessa for me. Were you being sarcastic there?
No.
So let me get this right. She's asking you to help with a car. She's asking you for money for rent. And your first response is, no, I'm going to send you the rent later on. You're chastising her because she's paying the gym membership?
Not only a gym membership, a million other things.
It's her money, correct?
Our money.
Your money. Tell these people about the job you were working at that time.
At the time, I was unemployed, but I was doing a lot of jobs, side jobs, and construction, landscaping, home improvement.
She was earning the money to pay for the support of that family, wasn't she?
No, we were doing it together.
How much money were you making at that time, Mr. Morales?
Well, I was averaging between $500-600 a week.
Okay. And $500 or $600 a week, were you supporting your other two children back home at 105 First Avenue?
I was helping, yes.
Were you paying your mother rent for 105 First Avenue?
I was helping.
Didn't you tell the officers in one of the videos that the jury saw the other day about how stressed out you were? You had no job, you had no money, everybody, was taking care of you and your kids. Did you not say that on the videotape the other day?
Well,
I'm going to object not to the question, but the manner and the histrionics that the state's attorney is going through here. Certainly he has a right to ask whatever questions, but he doesn't have the right to go ahead and be demonstrative like he is.
All right, so we'll just keep in mind courtroom demeanor. Attorney Stein, go ahead, you may continue.
Did you not say to the officers that went back to your house when they gave you the notification of Christine's death that it's a stressful time in your life and you agreed with everything?
yes, it was. I wasn't making much money, and it was split in many different directions, so it was stressful.
So, Christine responds to you, I stopped there last night, and she canceled her gym membership for you.
Okay.
Is that right?
That's what it says, yes.
Do you disagree that she canceled her gym membership because you had been on her about it?
Well, we were budgeting.
Yes or no question?
Yes.
She then goes on. does she go on to tell you, I miss you, hun. I wait all week to see you for a few days, and then those days go by in a blink of an eye. My dream for us to live together with the kids, and you could work from home, and I could take care of the kids. I miss my family. She loves you.
I agree.
You don't respond to that right away, right?
Probably didn't see it yet.
She then tells you, we're still on the same day, November the 14th, she's not having a good day. And she tells you further, or shows you, she sends you a file, a video file of Vanessa screaming and running around playing.
I see.
Remember getting the video?
Yes.
And you still haven't responded to her yet, because your next response to her is from the Isaac 100 account. Forward me the email that says your gym membership is canceled. Is that what you wrote?
That's what is there.
So after she tells you, I'm having a bad day, she sends you a video file of your daughter. You are still obsessing on her gym membership and the way she uses her money.
Objection to the form.
What you don't see in there is the.
Succinct.
Few days goes by. This is now November 20th, right? We're about 8 days before Thanksgiving. And you send her a message. Where are you? You see that here?
I see it.
That's a Wednesday, right? Would you know that?
Yes, it is.
So you're only there on the weekends, correct?
Yes.
So this is a Wednesday. She's out somewhere with Vanessa, and you're demanding to know where she is?
I'm not demanding, I'm just asking.
Several days later, on the 21st, you call her a stupid ass, telling her, your stupid ass is mad because I told you to keep an eye open because I dropped a pill in the house. Fuck you, I care for Vanessa. Did you type those words?
I did.
I asked you earlier whether you were controlling. Do you recall that?
Yes, I recall it.
I asked you earlier if you were emotionally abusive. Do you recall that?
I do.
You deny both of those things, didn't you?
Yes, and I still deny them.
Page 4 of this exhibit. Did Isaac Morales, that's you, right? You're sending this out, correct?
Yes.
On 11/22, so now that's 6 days before Thanksgiving, correct?
Yes, Friday.
You are acting very stupid lately. I really wonder if you are seeing someone else or starting to talk to another guy. I am very serious about this. For a while already, you have been acting very different, and you know the act.
All
Did you
right.
write that?
I did.
That's 6 days before Thanksgiving.
I spent the weekend with her that weekend.
her response to you. She writes back to you, no one else loved you.
All right.
She loves you.
She did.
Yes, she did. She says to you, don't give up on me. God is going to help us through everything and provide for us. She will change. She said that to you, right?
She said God will help us and provide for us.
She is going to change for you.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, apparently, she felt that you would know what she meant when that she was going to change. Presumably something you didn't like, right?
Objection, Your
Where
Honor.
are you? What are you talking about? I don't see what you're
Hold
talking
on,
about.
Mr. Morales. Excuse me, counsel. I'm going to strike your last question. I'm going to ask that you put the exhibit in full screen because we can't read the portion to which you're
sorry.
referring.
Where my highlighter is, don't give up on me. God is going to help us through everything and provide for us. I will change.
Okay, we all need improvement.
We all need improvement.
Yes.
And she caps it off with, for what it's worth, I love you. Right?
I see it.
And you don't respond to her.
Is there a question?
Yes, Your Honor. Because the very next message from her about,
That's the 22nd.
okay,
You're not letting us see the date.
okay, well, I'm getting there, Mr. Morales. She tells you, thought we were in this together and we took care of each other. I see now I was wrong. I will do money tonight and look at the website for a car. She told that to you.
The dates are out of whack.
Do you deny saying that to her or
No.
receiving that message from her?
I don't deny receiving it. But
Top of the next page. I can see now how you feel about me. Do you recall reading that one on November the 23rd of 2019?
I see it. I don't recall reading it.
Do you dispute that it says you read it, or the iPad, Isaac Morales' iPad, read it at 11:23, 2019 at 10:55 p.m.?
I don't dispute that.
Two days later, the iPad says, fuck you. Was that you or Isaac sending that?
That was me.
Why exactly were you telling her that she should do that to herself?
Well, there's a lot of conversations and phone calls and video on FaceTime that you don't see in here. So you see is a little text once in a while, and you don't know what's happening in between.
Mr. Morales, did you just not tell these people on direct from your lawyer what a great, loving time this was?
Excuse me.
I never said that.
Sustained. All right, can I see counsel sidebar, please? Thank you.
Morales, did you testify on direct about a wonderful time you had with your family on the Wednesday preceding Thanksgiving?
I did.
And you painted a rosy picture, did you not, of decorating trees, you were doing a holiday. This was just a great time for you and your family, including Christine and Vanessa.
It was.
Did you follow up on 11/25 at 11/16 with this stupid relationship is done?
That's what it looks like.
So that is 3 days before Thanksgiving, and you're pronouncing the end of the relationship.
Trash talk. That's what it is.
Okay. Isn't it true that in the days leading up to Thanksgiving, Vanessa was sick?
I'm not sure. I believe she had a little cold.
Are you aware that Christine took her to the doctor to be examined?
Yes.
Are you aware Christine went to CVS to get her medication?
Yes.
Are you aware that Christine wasn't sleeping at that time leading up to Thanksgiving weekend because Vanessa was coughing all night?
She was sleeping, and I'm aware that Vanessa was a little sick.
So you're saying that Christine was getting rest and she was getting sleep at that time? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, yes.
All right. Christine tells you on the 27th that she's taking her to the doctor now. You recall that?
I do.
Did she advise you she was calling CVS?
Yes.
On page 6 now, I want to take you to the top here. This appears 11/28 of 2019, correct?
Yes.
3:30 in the morning, correct?
Yes.
So now this is now Thursday, Thanksgiving, early morning hours of Thanksgiving Day, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you had testified on direct about all the wonderful things that had occurred on Wednesday prior to this point in time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you are apparently up, is it safe to say, at 3:30 in the morning, you're up and you're texting to Christine and you're saying, hey, as in, what's going on?
I'm downstairs, she's upstairs, yes.
Christine responds to you and says, hey, she was having a hard time breathing, but is better now. Do you recall it?
Yes.
So Christine's telling you Vanessa is having a hard time breathing.
All right.
I'm asking you.
That's what she said.
And you sound concerned. Are you okay? You ask.
Yes.
All that?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's no response to your inquiry, and so you say, hey, again. Do you recall that?
I do.
Christine responds now, a few minutes after that, yeah, going back to sleep while I can. Do you recall her saying that?
Yes.
Does that answer imply to you, what does while I can mean to you?
Means that she's going to try to get some sleep before she has to wake up again and feed Vanessa, or feed Vanessa most likely.
Okay, so Christine was still nursing Vanessa at this point in Vanessa's life.
Yes.
You responded, okay, right? You acknowledge that.
Yes.
You then, 1 minute after that, said, I went back out and I think my mom got me. Do you remember saying that?
Yes.
Where did you go, Mr. Morales?
My mom didn't like me to smoke cigarettes, so I go outside and smoke, and sometimes I try to hide it from her.
I'm sorry, sometimes what?
I try to hide me smoking cigarettes from my mom.
It's 3:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Your mom's patrolling the hallways to see if you're smoking cigarettes?
No, she caught me smoking a cigarette.
Do you think that Christine's response to you that you're stupid and that you need to stop?
Yes.
Do you think Christine is chastising you at 3:30 in the morning over the fact that you're smoking cigarettes?
Well, this is funny. It's a funny conversation. She is calling me, you stupid. She didn't want me to smoke either. She didn't smoke cigarettes.
Mr. Morales, you made a comment yesterday on Direct that you equated the PCP that you supposedly smoked to being like 1,000 gallons of vodka. Do you remember that?
I say 1 gallon.
1 gallon of vodka.
Yes.
Okay. I'll take your recollection. 1 gallon of vodka. So are you telling me that you have a basis of knowing what it's like to drink a gallon of vodka?
No, but I have an idea what it might probably feels like.
So when you made the comparison, then had you ever drinking a gallon of vodka before?
Not a whole gallon.
You like to drink, Mr. Morales, isn't that true?
I did.
There were vodka bottles. Are you aware of the vodka bottles in the closet in the bathroom?
I collected them, yes.
Collected them.
Yes.
Dubrov, is that what it was?
Yes, the small one.
Small ones.
Yes, empty ones. I collect them.
Empty.
Yeah.
Stuck back in the closet.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
For a purpose, not just for
I
narration.
understand. I understand completely.
Can I see counsel at the bench, please? Sidebar.
So with
Hold
regard
on,
to
hold on a minute, Attorney Stein.
I'm
We're
sorry.
having a reporter issue, I believe. Thank you. All right, we're going to stand in a brief recess, allow the court reporter to see what's going on with the equipment. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to see counsel.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right, Madam Clerk, if you could please bring our jury back in. Madam Court Reporter, are we all set? Okay, thank you so much. Counsel, the court reporter has relayed that the proceedings have been recorded. It just wasn't time stamping, so we're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Everyone may be seated. Counsel, please stipulate to the return of the jury.
Stipulate to the presence of the jury.
Thank you. Sorry for that interruption, ladies and gentlemen. We just wanted to make sure the equipment was properly recording the proceedings, okay?
Thank you.
Attorney Stein.
Thank you, Your Honor. So just before the recess, Mr. Morales, I was asking you about the Dubrov bottles in the closet of your bathroom. Do you recall that?
I do.
And just moments before that, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said that the text message that we were just looking at was referencing that you went outside to have a cigarette, right?
I believe so.
You just pulled the mic.
I believe so.
Okay. Well, do you have a different belief as we sit here now?
No, I don't have a different belief as we sit here now, but I think that's what we're talking about.
Well, if that's what you think we were talking about, then why would you say, I think my mom got me? Did she go out to the front porch and bring you back inside?
No, she probably called me smoking.
That's not what that says, is it? Let me make it bigger for you so you can see it. Here we go. So this, yeah. I went back out, and I think my mom got me. Isn't that what that says?
That's what that said.
So now, does that refresh your memory? Did you go out drinking somewhere that night?
I did not went out drinking somewhere that night.
So why would your mom have come and got you?
She got me, I mean, not meaning that she went to get me, meaning that she caught me.
Oh, okay. And further on in that conversation, when you stopped responding, Christine says, I guess you passed out.
Yes.
From cigarettes?
No, from being late night, early in the morning.
So now, showing you what's been marked States 1 is a full exhibit. Do you recognize this photograph?
I do.
Who are these people?
Christine and Vanessa.
And do you know where this was taken?
I believe so, but not 100% sure. I'm the one that took the picture.
Were you at a pumpkin farm?
Yes.
So it'd be fair to say it's around Halloween time, perhaps?
Yes.
Okay. So fair to say sometime mid to end October, early November, perhaps?
Perhaps.
So 4 to 6 weeks before Christine is killed?
Approximately, yeah.
Now, with regard to your direct testimony, let's go through that, if you don't mind, again. You now told us you spent Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That was the day you spent with your family, right, decorating the house.
That's correct.
And then Christine stayed upstairs.
Christine got to my parents' house around 4:30.
She stays upstairs, though, overnight Wednesday,
Yes,
and with Vanessa.
yes,
That's
yes.
when those text messages took place, right?
That's correct.
And now Thursday, let's go through Thursday again. What happened Thursday?
Thursday, we got up. We helped my mom a little bit in the kitchen, and then we went to Bridgeport to her grandmother's house.
Okay,
Around noon, we left to Bridgeport to her grandmother's house.
okay. And to finish the day for us on Thursday, what happened on Thursday?
We got back probably 2-3 hours after that, and we were just in the house. Later on, a couple of my nephews showed up. We were all hanging out in the house. That's about it.
Okay. Then Friday, what happens on Friday?
Friday, I get up around 8 o'clock in the morning. I get ready. I go upstairs. I talk to Christine for a little while and Vanessa, play with Vanessa. I run to Planet Fitness. I come to go see what's the status of my a membership that I was trying to get to lose weight because I had gained so much weight. Come back to the house. Then we go to Barbarino's.
So, Planet Fitness. What did you do at Planet Fitness?
I wanted to check the status of a membership that I had.
From what to what?
It's been canceled forever.
So you wanted to renew your membership.
That was a New Year's resolution to lose weight for
Okay.
the following year.
So I just want to be sure I'm understanding you. Christine is canceling her gym membership, and you are initiating a new one for yourself. Is that what's happening here?
No,
No. What's happening?
I went to see the status on the membership that I had.
So you drove to Planet Fitness,
Yes,
and you said my membership is in suspension,
that I went to see how it was. Yes.
and now I'd like to reactivate it.
No, I didn't reactivate it.
So you drove all the way to Planet Fitness just to find out what the status of your membership was?
Not all the way. It's around the corner.
The telephone wouldn't work?
I just went and I just took a ride.
You didn't say on direct, you didn't tell us about the Planet Fitness trip, did you?
I didn't mention it.
No. So now, with regard to that, you come back, and what happens next?
We go to Barbarino's.
Now, you said on direct that you were supposed to be at Barbarino's at 12 o'clock, correct?
12:15, yes.
And you're not getting back from Planet Fitness until what time?
It was a 5-10 minute ride.
Okay. So, but it's almost already 12 o'clock.
No, I went upstairs. In between 9 and 10, I went to Planet Fitness.
Okay. All right. So now, what time did you leave your house to go to Barbarino's?
11:15, 11:30.
And you told the ladies and gentlemen of the jury that you stopped at a store along the way to buy a Lucy.
Yes.
And yet, in the car ride that you took with Detectives Froelich and Adcox when you left 105 First Avenue,
Yes.
you told them you're a sober person, you don't do weed, you don't drink alcohol, and you don't smoke. You told them that.
I'm talking to a police officer. Yes.
Yes, I assume.
Yeah. I'm talking to a cop.
So you wouldn't tell them, you would tell them you would be, it's unlawful. Are you suggesting it's unlawful to smoke cigarettes?
Not cigarettes, but to do drugs, it is.
But you said cigarettes.
Well, I'm trying to. I was down to one. That's why I said I buy Lucy's, because I was cutting down, and I was trying to smoke one cigarette a day. So I just said that I'm quitting.
You told the officers you don't smoke cigarettes.
Well,
Yes or no,
I was
sir,
in the
please.
process.
I'm sorry?
I was in the process of not smoking.
Okay. So you lied to the officers when you told them that.
I guess you can say that. Yes.
Okay. Now, when you stopped at the store, do you remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the statement that you gave to Froelich and Adcox on December the 3rd, the early morning, 5 o'clock in the morning statement, correct? You remember that statement?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The statement that was played here is an exhibit in this trial that you gave at Ansonia Police Department in the early morning hours of December the 3rd, 2019, between yourself, Detective Froelich, and Detective Adcox, where they took your clothing. Do you remember that conversation?
Well,
It's a yes or no. Do you remember the conversation?
I remember seeing it afterwards, but I don't remember being there or happening.
Okay. So, that was you on the videotape, correct?
It was me. Yes.
All right. So now, in that particular conversation, you said nothing about going to the store for a Lucy.
For what?
You said nothing about going to a store for a Lucy.
It wasn't important.
It wasn't important.
No.
Okay. So now, the first time you ever told the story about the Lucy was December 12th of 2019. Hang on. December 12th of 2019. Do you recall that?
Probably.
And when you told the story about stopping for the Lucy, didn't you give a lot more detail to the detectives on December the 12th of 2019 than what you said on direct testimony here today? Isn't that right?
Probably.
You told them that you, out of courtesy for Vanessa and Christine, you lit up the Lucy outside the store and smoked it.
Probably.
You told them that you engaged in a conversation with a black guy that knew you from the days in the neighborhood, didn't you?
Probably. I don't remember this, but probably.
You told them that you were there for quite a long period of time talking to this guy.
Probably like 2-3 minutes.
You told them that while you were talking to them, people that you had had problems with in the past in the neighborhoods started to drive by.
Yes.
You told them that that those people followed you to Barbarino's.
I believe they did. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they did, yes.
All right. So let's back up for a second now. Let me get back to the weekend of December the 1st of 2019. I want to get into Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Okay.
You stated on direct that you saw people coming into your home.
That's correct.
and you stated that you watched somebody grab Vanessa and run out of the house. Is that correct?
I heard. I didn't see the person, but I heard.
How could you hear a person running out with Vanessa?
Well, I heard him in the area where the car seat is at, taking the car seat and going out the front door.
Well, we'll come back to the car seat later.
Okay.
But with regard to, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Morales, isn't that?
Yes.
Is Vanessa in the car seat?
No, Vanessa was on the bed next to Christine.
Okay.
When I went outside to smoke, Vanessa was on the bed next to Christine.
So, showing you states, defense D again. You know, this was the internal sketch that you wrote of 6.5 Myrtle, correct?
Correct.
You had 5.5 years to think about this, correct?
Yes.
Why did you leave out Vanessa's crib?
I left out all the furniture out. None of
Oh,
the
that's not correct, is it, Mr. Morales?
Well,
You got your bed there.
Well, the bedroom area. I wanted to.
Okay. You got your bureau there.
Yes.
You have a dresser here and a dresser here.
Yes.
You've got a washer and dryer in this.
Yes.
Why no crib?
I left all the furniture in this area out just to illustrate the whole living area.
So now, you heard somebody run out with Vanessa. You don't know that. That's what you're saying.
No, somebody did ran out with Vanessa.
But you said you couldn't see it. You were down on the
I was
ground.
down on the ground. Yes.
So you didn't see it. Did you see it?
I didn't see him run out
But you still believed at that time Vanessa was gone.
at that time.
Because
Yeah,
you believed that you heard whether you saw it or not, right?
No, I saw the guys that came in. One was struggling with Christine in the bedroom, and the other one was grabbing the stuff around the house, which was Vanessa, the car seat, and he ran out the front door.
So you saw then, so now you're saying you saw the guy grab Vanessa.
Well, partially I saw what was happening, but I was on the floor.
Well,
and I
I'm
was
trying to
high.
figure it out, Mr. Morales, because you've got one guy struggling with Christine, and if the baby's on the bed and that person would have had to have gone right past you to get to the bed area, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you didn't get hit in the head, correct?
Correct.
So you're on all fours, having taken a shot to the ribs by your statement, and did you see the second guy rush past you to get Vanessa?
They both did. Yes.
Okay. They both did.
They both came in the apartment.
So now, the guy runs out the door with Vanessa, and you know that.
Yes.
Okay. And at that point is when you saw the second guy then beat Christine down with the crowbar.
Well, no, not at that point. When he ran out, I still hear the struggling happening in the bedroom area. Seconds later, I see Christine running towards the door area, and she either collapsed or she tripped. The guy is running after her, and he hit her with the crowbar.
Okay.
When she was already on the floor.
Not just once.
No, he hit her once. He started cussing out. He said, "You scratched me, bitch." He cussed her on a couple of times, and then he hit her 2 more times. And as he was bringing the crowbar up, I see stuff coming out.
Her brains.
No, not her brain.
Because that fell out in the bathtub later on.
Probably.
Probably.
Yes.
So now, you must have seen her get hit at least 8 times, right?
No, I don't know. I didn't get to see what was happening in the bedroom. I just heard the struggle. But I saw that when she fell by the doorway, he only hit her 3 times with the crowbar right there.
You heard Dr. Hartnett McCann testify that she counted at least 8 separate impact points, minimum.
Well, he did hit her pretty hard. Hard. Extremely hard.
Oh, I got that. My question more is, you heard the doctor say she counted at least 8 separate marks on Christine's skull.
Well, I don't know what happened in the bedroom.
Okay.
Well, I heard the struggle, but I cannot testify to how many times he hit her over there or whatever. Or which way I know that she collapsed in front of me.
Mr. Morales, did you kill Christine Holloway?
No.
Mr. Morales, were you so intoxicated on a substance, PCP or alcohol or any other substance, that you do not remember killing Christine Holloway?
I did not kill Christine Holloway.
I just want to be sure, right? We heard the 911 tape. Is there any possibility that this is a delusion that you are engaged in?
No.
Okay. And you're 100% sure of that?
I'm 100% sure that people came into the apartment.
People
yes.
came into your house and they killed.
Well, one of them did, yes.
Okay. So let's go back to Barbarino. You made it up to Barbarino,
Yes.
and you say Christine purchased a car.
Yes.
You were about to say, we purchased the car?
No, we were in Barbarinos for like
Okay.
4 hours.
You said on direct that the plan that was here was first Christine was going to get the car and then you were going to get a new car.
Yes.
Yet you didn't have a job at that time.
I was going to get a job.
You were going to get a job. You had no job at that time, right?
At the moment, at the time, no.
In fact, you had no money at that time. Isn't that right?
Well,
Hmm?
money was going faster than it was coming in. So, yeah, I had no money.
Isn't it true that you owed money to a bank? Didn't you tell the police officers about the money that you owed the bank?
Well, it was a collection.
It's a yes or no, sir?
Yes.
So you had a bank chasing you for the money that you owed them?
A collection agency, I believe it was, yes.
Okay. All right.
Like $300.
Right. Okay. Well, and in fact, when you went to the Shell station, your card was declined for insufficient funds, wasn't it?
No.
You have a clear memory that you entered the wrong PIN number?
I couldn't figure out the numbers.
How is it possible that you have a memory that you couldn't figure out the numbers versus that the card was declined for insufficient funds?
Because I kept trying the numbers multiple times and I couldn't figure it out.
So you have a memory of not being able to figure it out.
It didn't work.
You have a memory of it not working.
I couldn't purchase anything. I couldn't buy the cigarettes that I wanted to buy.
Your Honor, I would move at this point to strike it. It's not responsive. Do you?
Hold on, let me strike it. Ladies and gentlemen, I will strike the last response, and the answer does call for a yes or no, Mr. Morales, okay?
Do you have a memory of why the card didn't work?
No.
Okay. So you don't know if the card was declined or not.
I do know.
How do you know if you don't have a memory?
I couldn't buy the cigarettes.
I understand. But isn't it equally as probable that the card was declined because of your financial problems?
No.
No. So you have a memory of why it was.
I don't understand what you get into.
So, back up to Barbarino's. We're at Barbarino's, And what happened from there?
Well, a car was chosen. I was asked to go to the house and get the Mazda that was going to be traded in for the car as part of the down payment. And I drove to my parents' house in the
Okay, so let's stop there for a second. So now, you're going to Barbarino. You've withdrawn. Christine has been looking for a car for at least several weeks prior to this event, correct?
No.
Did the text messages that we looked at earlier discuss cars?
We said that we have to get a car.
Right. You were discussing it in the text messages,
We
weren't
didn't-
you?
We never looked for a car, though.
She said she was going on the web.
She was using my car.
She said, would you like me to show you the text again?
No, you don't have to.
So you remember, she said she's going on the web to look for a car, correct?
Probably.
Would you like me to show you the text message again?
You don't have
I can do it for you if you'd like. I'll go get it.
You don't have to.
Do you remember her saying to you she's going on the web to look for a car?
Well,
It's a yes or a no.
I don't remember, but she probably did said it.
Page 407, Mr. Morales, in the text message chain.
Jimmy, can we just identify? the-
Sure, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Exhibit 177.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The very bottom. Thought we were in this together and we took care of each other. I can see now I was wrong. I will do money tonight and look at website for car on 11/22. Do you remember that?
I see, yes.
My question to you now is, you were in the market for a car at least by 11/22.
I guess.
So the question is then, withdrawn, of the two cars that you had, her car was worse than your car, right?
Yes.
That's why you were getting rid of it.
Yes.
Why are you driving your car up to Barbarino where you have scheduled an appointment, correct?
Yes.
This is not, we're just going to look. You have an appointment with a salesman.
That's correct.
Why are you driving your car?
Because we didn't know if we was gonna get accepted.
Well, assuming,
She was gonna try. We were there to try. We was gonna try it, but
Try.
he got through. He went through.
okay.
So it was good.
Does it make sense that you're driving your car?
Yes, because her car was in really bad shape.
Okay.
That's the reason why she was having. That's the reason why she had my car, because I didn't want to be driving around in her car. It had no
I
AC,
understand.
and it will shut off in every stop, every red light.
But you still now have to come back to New Haven, so you say, right?
Yes.
And you still have to get this car that has all these problems and still drive it back up to Wallingford.
Yes.
So either way, the car was going to have to make the trip from New Haven to Wallingford.
Yeah, but only me
Okay.
in the car.
I got you. So now, before you left to go back down to New Haven, tell me what steps that you took after saying, bye to Christine and Vanessa, I'll be right back. What did you do?
I got in the car and drove to my parents' house.
This is your car that you drove up there.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a child seat in the car?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a different seat than the one that's in Christine's car?
No, it's the same.
You only have one child seat between the two of you?
Yes.
Okay. So you took the child seat with you back to New Haven?
The base. Not
The-
the car seat, just the base that was in the car.
Okay. So now you get back to New Haven and you get Christine's car,
Yes.
and what happens next?
I park the Nissan and I get in the Mazda and I drive back to Wallingford.
Did you take anything?
No. I forgot the base to the car seat.
You forgot the base to the car seat.
Yeah.
You left that back at New
No.
Haven?
I left it in the Nissan, yes.
Okay. So how did Vanessa get home in the new car?
I did with the seatbelt in the back seat. I tied the seatbelt to it, and then with the passenger seat, I pushed the passenger seat back, and with the backrest of the passenger seat, I pinched it to get to the car seat, and it was very steady.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like this is one of those car seats like a Duna, right? Where the infant carrier fits into a base and it locks in.
Yes,
And that the base itself is usually, there's like alligator clips
Yes,
that clip
yes.
in and grab anchors in the car, right?
yes,
So person can carry an infant around in this carrier and then just drop it and lock it into the
yes,
base.
yes.
So on the carrier, there are no seatbelt safety holds, are there?
No,
So your way of transporting your daughter back was just to wedge it between the seat and sort of wrap a seatbelt around it?
well, not wedge it, but yes.
And it sounds kind of unsafe, don't you think?
Well, we did it for months when Vanessa was first born.
Okay.
We only had a car seat without a base for 2 months.
I'm not asking about other times. I'm asking, does it sound safe to drive from Wallingford to New Haven with a child in an unanchored car seat?
It was pretty steady. It's pretty steady.
Do you think, where you told the ladies and gentlemen of the jury on direct that you took the car for a joyride, wasn't that your words?
Yes,
So you have this child that's loosely sort of strapped in the back there,
not loosely, it's tight.
and you're not taking a direct path home. You're driving all around to check out the new car.
We didn't go nowhere far.
So now you got back on Friday. Got this new car, and you went back into helping your mom decorate the house. Is that what you recall?
Yes,
And everything's good for you at that point, right?
everything is good for all of us at that
For
point.
you, for Christine, Vanessa, everything is good.
Everything is good.
Can I ask you why then, over a holiday weekend, a man who's in a good relationship would decide to leave the mother of his child and his child at night to go and meet some guy? Why would you do that?
The proposition was that he was going to hook me up for the ride to Bridgeport and back.
I understand. So, and I understand what you've told these people. You are telling them you're in a good relationship, but yet you are leaving your infant daughter and the mother of your child to go back to Aunt Sonia so that you could go meet some guy. Is that what's
I
happening?
went to meet Hector, yeah.
Silly.
It's not that it's silly. It's
There's
that
no
we
que-
needed
no,
the money.
no, that was
I'll strike any responses.
He called me silly.
no.
I'm going to strike your responses, Mr. Morales. There's no question pending.
Just so the record, I put a cough drop in my mouth and then realized that I won't be able to talk with it, so I was spitting it into a napkin. With regard to then Friday night, you drove your car to Hector's and then from Hector's house to Bridgeport. Is that right?
Yes.
And now Hector, for a second, this is a guy, you didn't know his last name, right?
Yes.
You didn't know his street address, where he lived, right?
Yes.
And in fact, you had only met him like a few weeks before at a nursing home, isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. And that you drove to Bridgeport, and your expectation was that you were, I think, going to buy some weed, right?
Well, he said that he just told me that he
I'm
needed
going to
a
ask.
ride and he
I'm
was
going to
hungry.
object to what he said, Your Honor. It's also non-responsive. I asked what his expectation was.
Okay, so again, I will strike the portion of the response that talks about what someone else said, I believe referring to Hector. So from there on, and we'll re-ask the question.
I'll re-ask the question. You drove Hector. It was your expectation that he was going to buy weed. Yes or no, sir?
No, that wasn't exactly the way it was.
All right. So you got now to Bridgeport, and Hector left your car. Is that right?
We got to Bridgeport and what?
Hector left your car.
What you mean he left my car?
Got out.
Oh, yes. No, I never said he got out. We got to Bridgeport. We stopped in the gas station. He got out. Yeah, he went and bought something in the gas station.
Okay. But then you got to a place where a drug deal went down, right?
Yes.
Did it happen in your car?
No.
So he got out of your car to go and meet a drug dealer.
In a different car that was parked in.
So, in other words, you were not there when Hector made the purchase.
Exactly.
You did not see what Hector purchased.
He bought more than you think, yes.
Did you see what Hector purchased?
No.
So you have no idea what Hector purchased.
I have an idea.
Well, the next thing you said on direct was at some point you stopped and Hector rolled this blunt and that he passed it to you and you shared it with him.
Yeah, I didn't say that we stopped. I was driving, and he was rolling as I was driving.
When you smoked the blunt, you started to describe the impact. Tell us about the impact again of when it...
Well, when I was smoking with Hector,
Yeah. How did it make you feel?
well, I was getting high and high until the point that I passed out.
So just from that one hit at that point, you were blacked out. You were passed out.
No one hit. Half a blunt, probably.
Okay? You're passed out.
I passed out.
And you have no idea what you're doing after that.
No idea.
Okay.
Lucky that we didn't crash.
Lucky.
Yeah.
And that, but you didn't crash, did you?
No.
No. Now, with regard to this, somewhere along the line, you say that you, after returning to Hector's house, you then made your way up to 6.5 Myrtle.
Yes.
Attorney Stein, we'll be breaking shortly. Is this a good time to break?
One final question, Your Honor. Thank you. And from the time that you left Hector's house in East Haven, you maneuvered all the way up to Ansonia back to 6.5 Myrtle.
Well, I stopped.
It's a
and,
yes or no question.
I maneuvered, yes.
You drove your car.
But I made a few stops.
You remember stops.
I remember one stop in particular.
Okay. So you remember a stop, and you remember that you drove your car all the way from East Haven. What roads did you take?
That I wouldn't be able to tell you.
So you remember making stops, but you don't remember what road you took.
Well, that's the reason I made the stop, because I couldn't really concentrate or focus. So I stopped to give myself some time to get back to reality. So
Because your executive functions were impaired.
because I was impaired, yes.
And that impairment produces an inability to operate a motor vehicle. Wouldn't you agree with me, Mr. Morales?
Well, it makes
It's a yes or no question. Would you agree that cognitive impairment would prevent you from operating a motor vehicle.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
You drove from East Haven to Ansonia, an automobile, correct?
Yes.
Did you get into a motor vehicle accident at all during this trip?
Luckily not.
Did you get pulled over by a police officer anywhere along the line during this trip?
No.
Did you successfully navigate traffic lights and traffic control signals?
Not really. That's why I stopped
Okay.
and waited for a while before I started getting control.
A while? How long's a while?
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Well, you told us earlier that you left Hector's, it was after 11 o'clock, didn't you?
No.
What time did you leave Hector's?
I would say I couldn't tell you exactly, but somewhere in between 10 and 12, somewhere in between there.
On direct examination, this will be my final question before lunch, Mr. Morales. On direct exam, you were rattling off times with specificity to the minute. Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember saying that you arrived at places like at 1:09 or 1:13. You don't remember that at all?
No.
When Attorney Gavin was asking you questions?
No. I remember sometimes, not all the times.
Okay. I'll break here. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our lunch recess from 1 to 2. We'll be back here at 2.